In my restless dreams, I see that mirror, the one in the study, and in it, I see her. I see them. Lauren and Hannah. What? We're being so haunted, and they look so alike, it's ridiculous. They're almost like, they gotta be related or something, I don't know, this is so weird. Hannah and Loren.
Oh, pathetic Marianne! Work, work, work! She'll work herself to death! See, she doesn't listen! That's all she did. Look at what happened to me!
They talk among themselves with cruel smiles and venomous tongues. Or rather, to themselves. 2 heads, 1 body. A horrible mockery of these women, as if they were the one and the same.
More's the pity. Life goes on and goes out, and she doesn't even see it. Do you think she'll even realize when she's kicked the bucket herself?
When they say a person has a hard time telling when they're in a dream, it was true often enough. Even with the bizarre sight, even with the obvious implication that this isn't real, I can't help but feel distressed.
Likely. Is that any way to live at all? She might as well be dead. Cruel fate that she's alive and I'm... well...
They speak into each other's ear, tones low and hushed. I can still hear them as clear as day. Their whispers pervade the air, heavy and oppressive. They blurry and dig into my head like tiny maggots, worming their way into my skull. It is only then that they take notice of my presence. Eyes turn towards me, and I can only feel small under their security. Caricature smiles etch on their faces, mimicking each other grotesquely.
Oh, Marianne! How long have you been standing there, dearie? Come join us, Marianne. We won't bite. Unless you ask, that is. Have you been looking at us? Spying? How scandalous. Such a naughty girl. I'm sure you were just waiting for something lewd to happen, weren't you? You know she will not admit it. She thinks it wrong. You've said it so yourself. Yes. She thought me wrong, impure, abnormal, because I loved her.
My breath hitches, and I open my mouth to protest, but they stop me, screeching. The mirror, the holes, the cracks, lines spidering across the surface.
Do not lie! We know the gluttonous thoughts you try to deny, girl. All those desires you bury beneath that sickening guilt. You act the martyr when you turn the bed you lie in into your own hedonistic hell. You are nothing but a tainted soul with filth-stained flesh held together by falsehood and pride.
They look vivid, and when it looks like they would lunge, I wake, feeling like the wind had been knocked out of me. With a groan, I squint and find a certain fluff ball sitting on my chest, looking as pleased as Punch. Aww. She is the overlady of the cats, queen of despair and destruction of nice furniture. Same with one of my cats is like that too. The other is very chill. He just sleeps all the time. He just cuddles. They're like the opposites, really. Though I can't stay mad at her majesty because it feels like shit is something good this time. I was having a nightmare, but I can't even remember what it was about. Trying to recall leaves a terrible pit in my stomach. Maybe it's probably better that I don't remember.
Good morning, Baruthio. Who's the good kitty? Are you hungry? Is that why you woke me up?
A content purr comes from my sweet dear before she jumps off the bed and trots towards the kitchen. On the other hand, it takes me a bit more before I roll out of bed and start my day. Mornings before work is always a quiet affair. Shower first, then a mug of coffee and a bowl of oats. Sometimes I do stretches, and I always check my work email. The rice will be moving into the mansion today. Oh. I don't think the paperwork is officially done yet, but it isn't too far-fetched to think that they were allowed to start their move despite that. I just want to see... Oh. Right, she was really scared after death. That was what happening while she got spooked too. They're all getting spooked, and so today, that she woken up is when she goes to Zach, and all this happens. But I'm being worried about Isabella. And they shared their meal. Okay, that's what happens this day. All right. Rich people like them will always find ways to get what they want, after all.
I'll be leaving you again today, Beth. So you behave and make sure not to shred up my new covers, okay? And don't worry, I didn't forget tomorrow is Black Cat Day, so I'll throw you a party.
Really? There's a Black Cat Day? I don't have a black cat, though. What? That's cool, I guess.
But only if you behave like a proper lady.
She barely gives me a glance as I say that before going back to her own food. Cats. Still better than humans. Most of the time, anyway. Too bad I have to work with humans. You could have become a veterinarian or something like that, maybe, if you wanted to. The place is already busy as soon as I get here. The foreman wanted I recommended to Wright's for his work ethic is early as usual. Already he's instructing men here and there with the bigger loads. I have no chance to talk to him as Mrs. Wright appears and greets me with a smile.
Mrs. Wright, I hope everything has been to your liking thus far.
Good morning, Marianne. It has been delightful and these men have been very helpful. Look at all this. It's so busy here. I'm getting tired just looking at them go.
No complications so far with the movers or the previous owners of the mansion, I hope?
If anything, the only one being problematic is Luke, if I'm to be honest. He can be such a diva, but I do like that about him.
Really? She stops looking up at the upper landing where Mr. Wright comes through with two other movers in the mirror from the study. Oh no.
Oh, do be careful with that mirror. We wouldn't want anyone getting hurt because of broken glass.
Are they going to throw it away, or what?
Why are you even having it carried around?
Oh? You did say you didn't want the mirror, and I keep getting distracted by it. If I'm going to turn the study into my office, I'd rather not have it there. Where can we put this?
Well, you are not putting it in our room. Why don't you go, I don't know, put it in the wine cellar for now? We can figure out if we'll store it in the attic or somewhere else later, yes?
Oh my gosh, we're going to be spooked in the wine cellar too later with a mirror again. I'm telling you guys.
You heard her, boys. To the cellar it goes. Mush!
The movers bring down the mirror one step at a time, no matter how much the man tells them to hurry. An unsettling feeling grows in my stomach as I see a reflection in the bloody thing. And I look away, not wishing to risk anything. If I see Lorian's image in the mirror again, I wouldn't know what I'd do. I don't have the luxury of privacy right now, and I'm not going to break down in front of all these people. Mrs. Wright only shakes her head and laughs at her husband's antics as they take the mirror out of here. He's back in it again soon enough, pointing the men here and there. I'd say he's the man with a plan, but it sort of interferes with the layout and design that we've agreed upon before. I'm about to point it out that...
It's better you let him realize his mistakes on his own, rather than tell him of them. That way you do not get blamed for his actions. It is more fun, too, to tell him, how does they say it? I told you so, once he slips up.
Been working with him long enough to know that, huh?
It's not like I plan to make too much of a fuss unless what he changes is actually crucial.
It happens often enough, when one is made to accompany him nearly all hours of the day.
Up, higher. Come on now.
Still, he could at least be less pushy about things.
Careful now. I know your pictures are framed by cheap plastic, but those are framed by African Blackwood and are one-of-a-kind commissioned paintings. Each one is easily worth a lifetime of what you lot make.
It is surprising how handsome he is compared to my usual clientele. Well, the both of them are, actually. It's refreshing to have them participate, despite their initial reluctance.
Luke, do the dishwashers go into the kitchen or the butler's pantry?
Pantry, Buttercup. Careful, that's
That's mahogany.
No, you there, put that down. You do not manhandle a Napoleon Abueva.
He really needs to tone down the dramatics a notch. Mrs. Wright and the butler look like they're used to it by now. Isn't this... Didn't we play as Hannah during this time too? I'm sure we did, right? The rest of us, well, or maybe this is the first day and, I mean, it was the same the next day, and that's when we played as her. Wait, I'm just gonna... Yeah, okay, so this is... Yeah, so we played as her tomorrow. Well, we did play as her the day after this day. But the rest of us...
Sweetie, why don't we go and sort your suits upstairs? Let your Hans and Marianne and the foreman deal with the rest of the work.
We have this, Mrs. Wright.
Yes, please do go before a blood vessel bursts. Bloodstains are so troublesome to clean.
There's an obvious sense of relief as Mr. Wright is dragged out of the room, leaving the movers to do their work in peace. Some grumbling even comes from some of the younger workers. It's a good thing the family butler isn't some blindly loyal tool to his boss, or there will be trouble with Mr. Wright.
He is such a bratwurst. Whiny baby who never got enough hugs from his mutter.
Probably lost in translation, and not that I'm condoning talking about someone else behind their back, but I think you meant to call Mr. Wright a horrible brat.
Well, he is that too. There are a lot of things I can call him, but I mean to say that he is a big weenie. A childish name for a childish person. Like a child, he whines when he doesn't get what he wants, and he breaks the toys that he has.
That gets a laugh from me, as well as a few of the movers who linger near. He and I carry boxes, instructing the movers where they should be and generally taking over Mr. Wright's work. It goes off without a hitch, and the man is helpful, efficient, and capable with physical labor, despite his clean-cut appearance. A gentleman to boot, taking boxes from me when he sees me struggling with them. Speaking of boxes...
Hey, one of the boxes for the kitchen is missing. Has anyone seen it? The one with the pots and the knives.
The bratwurst had it brought upstairs, thinking it was for the attic.
Why would he... Oh, never mind. I'll go get it.
No, don't go to the attic. Oh no. Why even bring a box of pots and knives to the attic? That man is ridiculous. There's probably no point in making sense of what he does if he does them just because he can. At least it turns out that I don't have to make it all the way up to the attic. The mover, probably on Mr. Wright's orders, left the box on the stairs.
At least it's not that heavy.
Oh, jeez, good. I managed to hosset it up without too much effort. But the time it takes for me to do that is long enough for me to overhear an odd conversation I could never in my life imagine coming from a couple like the Wrights.
If you're not careful, I might go a bit loopy and I'll start bringing cats home.
Oh, so this is that day. Okay, so this is the 26th. Okay, gotcha. Right. Okay, I thought it was the 27th, the 25th, so we skipped a day. Right, she was sleeping. Right. Yeah, right, she said that she had had dreams 2 days, nightmares. Forgot about that. So it is this conversation. So, anyway, this has all happened. And Hana will meet Zach later today. And... Right. Oh, right. Bring cats home.
And soon enough, one day you'll find yourself going home to a farm just filled with felines that follow you everywhere.
Oh, don't bluff. The things would shred up your precious furniture. Besides, you don't even like cats.
True. Dogs are infinitely superior, of course.
Oh my gosh. Her and Mrs. Wright, they're not a match, guys. She's a dog person, she's a cat person. I didn't think about that. I forgot about that fact. Huh. They're not a good match, guys. Maybe she could go for Rose. Not Rose. No, I did it. No, I seriously did it for Rebecca. At least I'm aware that I just That was a slip of the tongue. We could go for Rebecca instead with Marianne.
But what about the wet dog smell? The mess. I'm not cleaning up after a mutt, no matter how cute. If you think about it, a cat would be better.
For once, I'll have to agree with Whiskey on this one, though I can live with Mrs. Wright being a dog person. Oh, okay, alright, I guess. That's fair. But as amusing as this conversation might get, I really shouldn't be caught eavesdropping or slacking off on the job. At most, I should be looking at ways of possibly soundproofing certain rooms, perhaps bringing it up if they don't realize the lack of it. I really should. So if we keep listening, she is going to hear them talk about the babies and stuff. Ooh. I'm just too curious now. I'm not going to be professional. I haven't been professional anyway. So. But we kind of know what they will be talking about. But she won't know. Maybe she could, like, read the hints enough to kind of get that she's pregnant. Maybe she should keep listening. Oh my gosh, I'm just making it really terrible. But we're going for Rebecca anyway. She reminds her too much of the other ladies. I don't usually care for the private affairs of my clients, as I consider if I should lurk a little longer. I missed what else was said. All I know is that the topic has somehow moved on from pets to children. I don't understand why I don't get the She-Man pop-up. Maybe I changed that? Settings? I don't remember.
I wasn't being serious.
It's not something you take the piss out of. Having a kid is a big responsibility, Hannah. We've talked about this, haven't we? I'm not ready to be a parent. I'd probably end up killing the little brat by the week's end.
The regret sinks in fast. Why can't I just keep it to myself and mind my own business like I usually do? Oh. Sorry. It's my protection program. I'm just gonna let that. And I also just need to answer a text real fast. There we go. Why can't I just keep myself and mind my own business like I usually do, of all the times to be curious? Lorian, bless her soul, once told me that there are 3 things I shouldn't do unless I want to be on the shit list of the social elites. First, don't mess with their livelihood. Whatever business they have that make them and keeps them rich is something they need to protect. Whether it's some multi-million company or some sort of state secret, they keep that close to their chest. Business that challenge legal matters and moral issues aside, unless they profited from criminal conduct, it's best to steer away and avoid being their competition. Second, don't mess with their affairs, especially the married sort. It's messy business just to even gossip about it. And whereas to actually be the other woman, I'm towing the line with this rule, as it is because of Whiskey. And the third
Of
thing,
all the times to be as sharp as a beach ball and as slow as a sloth, Marianne.
well, the third thing rings true for just about anyone, really. Don't mess with their family. Of course, she used the word mess quite loosely. And I think what I'm doing now falls under multiple definitions it could take. Listening to this, something so undoubtedly private, is a great way to get in trouble.
I likes you well enough.
Kylie.
Yes, well, it's Kylie.
She did say Kylie. I don't remember if she said Kylie. Okay.
The tyke likes everybody, and on the off chance she doesn't, likes them well enough as long as they buy her sweets. And sure, that kid is great. But if I get tired of her, I can ship her back to her father at the end of the day. Having kids of our own will be a whole different monster entirely.
I think you'll be a great father.
I walk away as far and as fast as I can while still carrying the box until I'm a good distance off in the foyer. I even risk my neck, taking the steps down 2 at a time before quickly handing off the kitchenware to Johannes.
You really shouldn't run down those stairs. You might slip and break your neck. And that isn't a pretty way to go.
keep that in mind, thanks. Wouldn't want anything to happen to my pretty neck.
That's probably a foreshadowing for like the last chapter or something, which shit is going to go down.
Why do you think I wear a scarf?
Because they're comfortable? Other than that, they're still serious choking hazards. You might be wearing your own noose.
Cut the morbid stuff and let's get these things where they belong.
He's the killer. What if he was the killer? No one would suspect him.
My kitchen, my rules. If you have somewhere else to go, which I'm sure you have, you may leave the area to me.
Well, I still have to check a few things there, if you don't mind.
Like that as unless there is more than just supernatural things, obviously.
How many times do you need to check every room? Are you sure you're not just looking for this secret recipe of my Kirby soup? Because I'll have you know, it is all in my head.
I like to be thorough with my work. I'm sure you understand.
He shrugs as we enter the kitchen. The box is quickly placed on one of the countertops and he sets to work quietly. Occasionally, he would ask me to take one thing or another and place it someplace else, but for the most part, I'm left thinking about what I just heard. That talk of children and Mrs. Wright's insistence on getting that room. Could it be? No, she doesn't look like it. But of course, it could just be too early to show. And if she has, does Whiskey know? It really didn't sound like it. What do I care though? Oh, aside from the fact that I may be working with a pregnant woman who will have a baby in the near future, and this place isn't exactly up to modern safety standards, the slightest possibility that this might be the case only makes me worry. I'll have to do a better job than what I usually do. The movers work efficiently even when they are left alone, and they do quick work of their responsibilities. The head foreman comes, standing in the doorway to consult me on this or that, and I have to go help out every now and then. They pretty much have everything up to standards. They skip lunch entirely, not even realizing when they do so. Nevertheless, all is well as the butler gets to eating up the leftovers bubble and squeak from breakfast and makes a generous batch of fish and chips for them. Most likely simple in comparison to what he serves to rice, but well done nonetheless.
That smells good. Want to wrap up some for me to go?
It's an idle observation more than anything, my thoughts as they are preoccupying me.
If there are any left, one can't go wrong with fish and chips. Everyone loves them, even my husband, and he's American. I
really do hate getting so up close and personal with my clients. It's a distraction. You both are gay. It is obvious to me that I've gotten my priorities all wrong when I can't help but think about what I heard, what I learned about the right couple. When things have a way of creeping up on a person, thoughts, ideas, whether they are fact or fiction, they creep up and fester, crawling right in a way that twists. I hear giggling, delighted and mocking. They creep up and the sensation of fingers ghosting briefly on my arm causes me to freeze and hiss.
Don't!
I half expect her to be there.
Whoa, no need to scream bloody murder! It's just me. Quiet down before you break glass.
But it's just whiskey.
Don't do that again. Ever.
I don't like being scared, though I don't believe in the likes of spooks. Being startled is not on top of the list of things Marianne liked. Lucky for him, I have nothing within reach, or he would have gotten on friendly terms with something like a rolling pin.
What was with that reaction? Were you really scared? Has Johann's been telling you ghost stories? He just loves to scare people. Isn't that right, Brother Gurium?
The butler's expression is unreadable. I hardly see any emotion on his face to begin with since I started working for the Wrights, aside from vague amusement. There must have been something there, though, judging from Mr. Wright's own content look. The expression on Mr. Wright's face is almost cruel. But neither of them spoke, even as Johann leaves the room to serve the workers their late lunch.
So, now that we're alone, Marianne, what are you so jumpy for?
I was just thinking about all the urban legends the movers have been telling me about this place.
Don't tell me you believe in that tosh. They're nothing but tales made up to scare children. Timmy, Billy, don't you dare go up to that big mansion and get in trouble there. The ghosts are going to get you.
That's a boring way to look at it, but that's usually what it is anyway, no? Like I said, I was just thinking.
It would be a relief, actually, if those rumors of this place being haunted is true. That just means I'm not going bonkers. Hearing, let alone seeing, a dead person isn't exactly the symptoms of a healthy mind. Sure, it means there would be such things such as ghouls and goblins, but at least I'd be sane. On the other hand, there would actually be a dead girl walking around.
If you could excuse the inane question, Mr. Wright, you haven't noticed anything weird here?
A simple enough question on the surface, yet I noticed the man stiffen as the question leaves my mouth. I wouldn't have noticed it if I wasn't watching his reaction intently, but in his eyes, I see something dangerous.
It depends on your definition of the word weird. Are we still on the topic of this place being haunted? Because no, things have not started to fly around and we have yet to require an exorcism. I don't think my head would like to do the whole 180-degree turn thing.
Well, maybe that, but no strange people?
Aside from my usually weird butler and all the weird men traipsing around touching my things? No, not really. Why do you ask? Have you noticed anyone strange while you were here? Because you must report it to Johans and he'll have security handle it. But these reports better not be about ghosts and things that go bump in the night. I don't want to waste manpower on the boogeyman or senseless witch hunts.
I'll keep that in mind, Mr. Wright. But no, it's nothing like that. I guess the mansion is just strange for me. It's a unique project.
No strange men or women lurking about then?
A dead teenager would technically qualify as strange. But yeah, the whole I see dead people thing isn't going to go over well.
None that I know of. But I'll inform Johans immediately if something comes up.
I'm serious, Mint. You see anything, anyone suspicious, and you report it. Immediately.
I think that goes without saying.
The concern we have on the talk of security is quickly gone. His arrogance, smug smirk returns, if a bit subdued. Whatever smarmy remark or undo he has at the ready never comes though. As voices from the dining hall rings out.
So, is this a full-time job for you then?
Sack.
Nah, I just freelance mostly, for magazines, newspapers, and events. So you can't really call it a full-time job. It's fun and it puts food on the table, but it's not what I really want to do. At least not all the time.
That would be the magazine photographer, I presume. As always, Mrs. Wright talks in such a kind and cheery fashion, no matter who she's talking with. It certainly puts people at ease around her. It sounds like it's working on the photographer too. Hearing them, though, seems to put Mr. Wright in a sour mood. At least, if his small scowl is anything to go by. Is he jealous? Look, I don't know what to say. I thought their relationship would be higher, if I'm going to be honest. I don't remember when I failed, but I must have failed. Right, I failed when I showed her the photographs. Oh no. Shoot. I don't think he's going to like if you're like asking, are you okay? So I'm just gonna like try to lighten the mood, I suppose.
You're not gonna go out there and join Mrs. Wright?
Oh, never mind then.
You're starting to look strained. If you want your picture taken so badly, I'm sure the photographer would oblige.
What is it that you want to do then?
Films. Documentaries mostly. But cinematography is a lot more difficult than photography, right? I was working on this thing, actually.
We need to get you away from the butler. You're starting to sound like him. No, I'm not joining Hana for an interior design magazine photo. What am I, a piece of furniture? Look, do the lot of you have anything else crucial to do today? Marianne.
There are still some little things to do. It isn't the end of the day yet.
Yes, but you're paid hourly, aren't you? Per day? Really, I don't care. You and the others can just take off for the day.
Why is he dismissing us early all of a sudden? Is this about the possible security threat? did my question get him all weary and paranoid that he would just send the workers in die away? He's definitely... He seems to be up to something. Because why otherwise would he be like, oh shit, I need to take care of some stuff, right? Maybe, you know, the pregnant ladies around here. Even now, that might be it. I realize that threats are of actual concern to these rich and powerful people. I imagine, whether anyone wants to or not, they get a few enemies here and there. But I'm sure the foreman and his works can be trusted and are of no threat. Well, at least I trust people I'm working with. I understand if he doesn't know them from a can of paint. Still, won't it be safer if there are people around who can watch their back?
You're the boss. My being paid by the day aside, I won't be held responsible for any significant delay caused by your decisions. I'll try to get around that, of course, but I'll just remind you of the fact.
Whatever, take forever with the house. I don't give a bloody damn. Don't you worry, you're still getting your money. Just sod off, go crawl around a pub and find yourself a good lay.
Partner, aggravated as he might be, this conversation certainly didn't have to warrant that sort of remark.
Maybe I will.
Walking out of the kitchen, I just accept the fact that whatever he says will go well under his roof. Mrs. Wright and the photographer are still far too busy in conversation to notice me, even as I make my way through the dining hall. Besides, I don't want to ruin their fun.
Well, it wasn't really a big thing. People didn't like Blue Fonzie very much.
People don't like a film about colors. I suppose they would have liked Blue Bibby a lot more.
Going to the foyer has me stumble upon a family butler once more, who raises a brow at my presence.
And where are you off to in a hurry, Miss McCulloch? The foreman is looking for you.
The bratwurst wants us off the clock. He's dismissing us early because of... Oh, I don't know. He just wants us out of here.
I'll go and call a cab for you then. It would be for the best that you leave when he asks you to.
I don't doubt it. My ride back to the city doesn't take too long to get here. Granted, there were some difficulties at first because the driver didn't know where the Ermengarde mansion is. Yeah. To keep her mind off the things that haunted her, Maria and McCullough focused on assisting the Wrights during their moving. Later that afternoon, she was seen chatting with Luke Wright, who then deemed she and the rest of the crew take an early leave. Was that because I was joking? Jeez, I'm making all the wrong decisions today, I think. I should have been playing. My judgment isn't right today, guys. She's only like good with Zabala. We'll try with Rebecca. We'll really try with Rebecca. I think it could work out. Do you know where the Ermengarde mansion is? He tried to have us hand over GPS coordinates from our smartphones or some other techno babble I didn't care about, and the butler didn't understand. But as soon as we told him it's that haunted mansion over in Anslem Village, he knew just the place, and finally headed over, albeit with some hesitation. On the way back to the city, the driver keeps complaining about the place giving him the willies. It would give me willies too. I would have loved to snap at him. But as soon as that the thought occurs to me, another blossoms in the forefront of my mind. One that has somehow bothered me gently. Gently? What? Bothered me greatly. More than my exasperation over the whiskey on this project and wanting all of it to stop. There's been no Lorianne whispering over my ears today. Worse, I find myself searching for it. Searching for her. Damn the frill. Damn the earthy. Loose ends. Fucking bloody loose ends everywhere. I thought I've already moved past this years ago. And does nothing to help me curb my frustration. If anything, it only ensures that I want a stiff drink. And where else do I go to drink? Tuesdays are for karaoke and Wednesdays, improv. Usually it's these four guys who did hilarious games. The one with Irish drinking songs are always a crowd favorite. Though I love a good laugh, stand-up comedy isn't my thing. Cam or Haruna or any other distractions, I end up drinking a lot more this time. And when there are several bottles of beer in me, I get really, really embarrassing.
Hey! G! Psst! G, come over here. I need you for something.
It's a good thing that the bartender is a nice fellow. I'd probably have been kicked out of other places by now, or worse. If push comes to shove, all he would do is give me an easy smile and shake off his head even when he's attending to other customers. Just like now.
Give me a moment, will ya? I gotta go check on her.
He's some Asian guy, and I'm pretty sure I've seen him here before a couple of times, although he never talks to anyone else except G. The girls used to be all over him too, but he always turned them away.
I'll be here. You go do that before she falls over.
Oh my god, Asian Joe. Oh my gosh, you serious?
All right. What is it?
Hello.
Do you need someone to help you get home?
Bartender, pour the wine.
I think that's enough alcohol for you, little missy. I'm cutting you off.
A whine comes from the back of my throat as he pulls my bottle away. I have no hope of getting them back once they're behind the counter. Even in my drunken mind, I don't dare hop over it for them. Because what little sense I have left knows I'd sooner take a floor dive than succeed in wresting a bottle from a sober man. But that doesn't stop me from trying to reach out with my arms like a stupid idiot anyway. He smiles and shakes his head just like I know why he would before going back to the other guy.
Right now, where were we? How you holding up, boy?
With no drink and no one to really chat with, I would have gone home or gone to sleep on the bar right there and then. But I'm not ready to stand up and try to trek back home just yet.
Same old. I'm still on the Luxborn firm case.
Those blokes they talk about being in dark suits, whisking people into the night or some shit and all that. Didn't the media call it some ridiculous name in the morning news?
What is it this time? Wait, don't answer that. They've called it a lot of things. As long as people don't start running around claiming they're the Illuminati. So, what have you got for me this time, G? Anything good?
Slow down there. You haven't even told me what sort of dealing dosh we got. Who are you looking into this time?
The talk would have interested me, would have kept my attention if I gave a damn. But in my current state, I can barely give two fucks about the things going on around me. All these words are just buzzing, barely surfacing from the sea of sounds that is the pub. Damn it, Mariana, I would have wanted to know what they're talking about. Jeez, why would you have to be like pissed drunk? And he would have stayed that way, perhaps even drowned, if didn't hear his name.
Luke Wright. You know the guy. And don't pretend like you don't, G. It takes a special kind of ignorant not to know who he is.
That smug blonde who likes throwing round his money. He was just here a few days ago, as a matter of fact. Great tipper. If you think him just dumping a wad of cash on the counter after having too much whiskey counts as tipping, why are you asking? He dirty?
You have no idea, G. He's probably the worst sort you can imagine.
Oh, jeez, great. Might have been good that we're not good friends with him then, maybe? I don't know. Luke fucking Wright. Fucking whiskey. Even without him around, I'm still hearing about the guy. What the absolute fuck. Despite this, I find myself getting up and sauntering over to join them for a pipe.
Is this smart talk about Luke fucking Wright I'm hearing, eh?
Private conversation here, lady.
There's only amusement on G's face. The Asian guy, he starts to look ticked off as hell.
Don't worry, Holmes. She's clean. And she might be able to help you with your, predicament.
Course. A drunk's just stumbled through here with what I need. Get real, G. No offense, lady, but you're smashed.
I know, right? Nothing beats being drunk after a hard day's work. Especially when you're working for Mr. Luke Wright.
So, she works for the guy? Doesn't that make her, I don't know, suspect?
See, have a little faith in me, why don't you? I don't have much, and you might as well have something to go off. You're the one who was so desperate to come running to me for business.
Yoo-hoo! Still right here, fellas. 5'11". Can't miss me. Unlike Shorty over here. What's with that mad look? You want to dance, boy? You don't look like you can bust a groove.
Maybe a leg. What with that fancy coat of yours?
To add insult to injury, I moved directly behind him and used the top of his head as an armrest. But when he shakes me off, I plop into the seat right next to him.
Don't try me. You can hardly stay on your feet. We don't want to ruin your fancy coat, do we?
Ah, children, the both of you. But you're still standing after all that, are you? Matt, you see this giantess? She's a legendary regular here. Been treated like there's no tomorrow. I'm a bit jealous. Can't do that anymore or my liver will give out on me. Good with the mic, too. Don't see you much recently, but I guess you're always busy, aren't you? You're some fancy designer or something, if I remember correctly.
Wait, I know you. You were at the open house for the mansion.
Yeah, that's right. Marianne McCulloch. I'm a famous interior designer extraordinaire. Ooh, that rhymes. Anyway, you guys were talking about that weenie Luke Wright, right?
Or something. Can't really talk about it. I don't even know if I can trust you. Even if G said you're clean. But anything would be of help.
Well, I don't gossip about my clients, if that's all there is to this.
You wanted to gossip about him a few minutes ago, Marianne.
And that was the beer talking, not Marianne.
You won't mind if we ask the beer a few questions then?
Maybe. Depends on who's asking and what they're asking. But seriously, that guy is abso-fucking-lutely frustrating. One moment, he's an absolute dickhead. And then he's acting like an actual decent human being the next. I just can't figure him out. I can't imagine how that pretty wife of his can put up with him. If I were her, I'd dump his flat arse straight up.
And I'm not just saying that because I think Hannah's pretty or anything. Luke is a catch too. They both are. But I really cannot, for the love of all things holy, see how they even work out together.
So, Luke Wright, have you noticed anything strange about him while you were working with him? Anything peculiar? Of note?
You're the one being peachy right about now, Holmes. But nah, nothing that comes to mind off the top of my head. He's just like most rich, smarmy arseholes and then some.
A giggle bubbles up and I press my cheek against the cool countertop with my eyes shut tight just because. Eventually, cracking one eye open just in case they thought I fell asleep, I grin at Holmes.
So, Holmes, I'm guessing you're some private detective or something. Is it Hannah? Did she pay you to look if he's been cheating or some such?
Hannah's the wife, right? What about her? How is she?
How is she or how is she? Well and good.
Oh my god.
Definitely the nicer of the two and sexy as sin to boot. Not a private detective then. Are you from one of them tabloids wanting to know if the Luke Wright doesn't know how to put his pants on right? Pants. I'd take the pants off of...
Here we go. Slipping. I haven't been this drunk in such a long time. It's a miracle I've been coherent for as long as I have been right now.
I'm asking you if you've noticed any odd behavior from her.
Odd behavior? What? I wonder how she'd be drunk. I can just imagine her like the giggly sort. What do you think?
These are serious questions, Marianne. Lives might just be at stake here.
What do you expect? She's smashed.
Why am I even doing this? This is getting me nowhere, G. She's not a reliable source. The chief, let alone the courts, aren't going to take the word of a drunk. This will be dismissed, and I might be in trouble if they try to argue that I coerced a testimony out of her.
Let's just meet another time then. What's the big deal?
This is a fucking train wreck.
You're a fucking train wreck now, if you ask me. Maybe it's about time you apply the brakes and stop for a bit.
The wave of despair that comes over the both of them is palpable. If feelings had a taste, it'd be better than the beer I'm full of. And it gets me thinking, the thinking doesn't get me far with too much shit in my...
You know that's not an option. Thanks for being patient, McCullough. Good luck with your work on that mansion.
Speaking of that mansion, there's something going on in that place. Something. As och day! No wonder Mr. Wright likes it so much. It's as fishy as he is. Rotten bloke.
Maybe because of her talking is what made him be kind of like, okay, maybe something is going on in that place.
Maybe that Santos girl is really onto something, eh? Suspicious shite, I'm telling you. Explains why she's so reluctant.
What do you mean that Santos girl is onto something?
Before getting another word out, there's hands on my shoulders and everything starts spinning. I quickly slap his hands away the best I can and send him the fullest look I can.
Take your hands off me, pipsqueak. I'm not a lady who's shaken or stirred unless you want me up chucking on your pretty hair. But it's just like I said. Are you sure you aren't brain damaged or deaf? Santos girl from BRC showed us this creepy letter. You know, just like those spam stuff you get in your emails. And we thought it was some joke or that the girl was just a bit too green to handle a big sale like that. You should have seen the look on their faces when they saw it. Whiskey, that's Luke fucking right, you get me? And the missus didn't look too happy either. I should have taken a picture and posted it everywhere. When rich snobs give you that face, no wonder the Santos girl went all mental on us. Working with them does that, you know? I think I'm about to. I'm not mental yet, am I? Anyway, just like I said, in that man... Hey, you okay? Holmes? You're looking a bit shaky yourself there.
And he really is pale, paler than before at least. I can see the gears turning in his head and over time. Suddenly, he shoves a card in my hand. This makes so much more sense now, everything. Luxburn Police Department, Ashton Frey, Detective Inspector CID. Jeez. On it, his name, Ashton Frey, and his number. But he has second thoughts as he grabs it from me and slips it into my pocket.
You're cute, pretty boy. But I prefer blondies.
Well, you're not exactly my type either, lady. But listen to me. If something comes up, don't do anything rash. If you think you're in danger or if you see anything suspicious, call me and the authorities as soon as possible. You understand me? That's 99...
I know what the damn emergency number is.
Right, 999. Good. Anyway, I have to run. See you, G.
The guy is quick on his feet, already up and at him as soon as the numbers leave his lips. Watching him as he maneuvers through the crowd of other pubgoers is enough to tire me out. As fast as he can, he's at the door and froze as a smile, and that's all we get before he's gone. Just like that.
Oi, what about your drink, boy? I'll go put it on your tab then.
Holmes boy always like that, G?
Pretty much. But what about you? I suppose I'll put your drinks on your tab too. Don't want you to spill your wallets when you look like you're close to spilling yourself.
Yeah, and if it's fine by you, I think I'll go take a bit of a cat nap here. Just for a sec or two.
Go right ahead. I'll wake you when I close up shop.
Mumbling a sleepy thanks, I doze off on the spot, face pressed on the counter. Oh wait, I didn't check. No, there's no change though. Oh, that was the journal. Never mind. The interior designer once again drank her frustrations away at the crowd bar. Albeit heavily intoxicated, she was seen chatting with Ashton Frey, a detective inspector working for the LPD, about Luke Wright. Before leaving, the detective left her his calling card. Mumbling a sleepy thanks, I doze off in the top spot, face pressed on the counter. Already, I dread the pain I'll have for sleeping in such a position. But when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Oh, Marianne! How long have you been standing there, dearie? Come join us, Marianne. We won't bite. Unless you ask, that is.
Not that I can get much sleep to begin with. Right. So, that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.